Twin Realty and auction team right here in Taylorville. Let my over 20 years of real estate and auction experience work for you. Click my icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online, and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
WTIM. Good morning, WTIM, your information station. Leroy Kleimola here with you. Good morning. As we get things kicked off here this morning with our morning show. Joining me this morning, our morning show brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better at Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first. And joining us this morning is Pam Moses with Taylorville Food Pantry. Pam, glad to have you on the show this morning. How are you?
Good. Thank you, Leroy. Good to be here.
Good to have you here. And again, just such an important thing that you do, and it's greatly appreciated among the community. But Food Pantry, always busy, always things going on. And talk a little bit about any what numbers do you have as far as, have you seen, especially in the last year, an increase in usage? What's the data like?
We've been pretty steady the last few years. We average about 475 families a month. I think the last 2 months we were in the 450 range. So, we're right there. We were maybe down a little bit the first quarter, which is pretty typical. When the weather's a little bit tougher, we don't get quite as many coming through. So we're basically back up to the numbers we expect, and now that it's summer, we expect those numbers to be higher with kids being out of school. So we're going through. But the interesting number that we continue to bring up is something we started tracking about a year ago, and that's the number of new families that have been coming through the pantry. And in April, I believe it was 40 new families, and in May, 41 new families. And that's families that are not in our system in any way, shape, or form, that are coming to the pantry either for the first time or at least our pantry for the first time for our documentation. So that continues to be a scary number, because it's almost 10% of what we're getting in are brand new people that have never needed the pantry before.
Yeah, it's got to be a little bit of an overwhelming feeling, despite the help. It's got to be a little bit of an overwhelming feeling to have to need to rely on the pantry to get food. So obviously, being a comfort for that goes a long way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're glad we're there for them. We're glad we can be there for them. We've been very blessed by this community in both volunteers and giving. And we believe that they get a nice round of options when they pick up, whether it's fresh produce, bakery, the canned goods, and of course we hand out meat as well. So all that being a choice pantry, where they get to pick what they'd like to have, but depending on the size of their family. But it takes a lot to walk through those doors.
So if somebody does need help and they've never been there, talk a little bit about that process and what they need to do and where they need to go.
Well, we're located at 1429 East Main Cross, and our hours have been the same since Amy and I started this in 2017, and that's we're open on Tuesday mornings from 8:30 to 10 a.m. We're open Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 7 p.m. and Saturday mornings from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. And, the process is, get in line. I think on Tuesdays they don't use a pager system. We do on Thursdays and Saturdays. But when your number's called, you come in. The people at the desk will ask you a series of questions, get you signed in. It's nothing difficult. We don't have to have your ID. We don't have to have your proof of income. There is some attestments that you have to sign, I guess, and after that they kind of direct you through, get you a shopper, and help you fill your cart. So it's a pretty easy process.
Food wise, obviously it's kind of cliche, but what are you guys looking for as far as food donations and things like that?
Well, you're always looking for staples, vegetables, fruits, things of those natures. And speaking of, vegetables, it's the time of year for gardens, right? And people are just getting everything planted and starting to see the front end of what's being produced. But we know that's going to last between now and, depending on the weather, October, November. We still get some, tomatoes, cucumbers through the end, even green peppers. But if you've got room in your garden to plant an extra plant or two and send that out to the food pantry, there's a lot of local people that will get the benefit of that, and we appreciate you thinking of us.
Yeah, I think about, obviously, non-perishable goods and items like that, but vegetables and produce, obviously a really, really big part health-wise, but especially at the food pantry.
Well, absolutely, because if you go to the grocery store, that's some of the most expensive things. And so if you're limited on income and what you're buying, you're going to buy your pastas and your peanut butter and your lower cost items. But if it costs $3 for a package of asparagus, you're probably not going to buy it. So yeah, it's that's why we push the locals. I mean, the community garden helps us out dramatically with their harvests every year. They bring a lot to the food pantry, and we get a lot of individuals who raise stuff for us too. And
it's got to be good to be able to have that support from the community as far as volunteers and as far as giving food and items like that to help your mission and to help achieve the goals that you guys have set out for yourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So talking to Pam Moses here this morning about some of the great stuff that they have going on over at the Taylorville Food Pantry, and always a need, especially for those who may need it, who need that help, whether it comes to gardening, whether it comes to produce, or whether it comes to food as well. So Pam, just pushing through here this morning as far as talking about some of the great stuff going on over at the Taylorville Food Pantry, and are there any typical hours where there might be more people than others? Do you notice that, or is it pretty normal depending on what shift that it is?
Well, I think our busiest time is usually Thursday evening. Obviously, it's for those people that are working and still need a little bit of help. It's an after hours type thing. They don't have to leave work to come see us. So it's probably our busiest time. Tuesday mornings, probably our second busiest, and actually Saturday mornings, maybe people don't want to get up. I don't know, but that's probably our least populated time frame is Saturday mornings. But honestly, if you come towards the end of the time frame in the last half hour, there's the lines are pretty much gone.
So you heard that. You got to show up at Saturday morning if you want to. No, but it's nice to have the varying hours so that you are reaching every single person. There's always an available slot, no matter what you need as far as, because you're right. For some of us that work 50, 60 hours a week, it's nice to be able to have that time to be able to, where that you guys are open.
Absolutely. I mean, a weekday morning, a weeknight, a weekend, whether people are first shift, second shift, third shift, we, try to have something available for each timing.
Yeah, definitely. And to be able to have the help and the options there as far as the support channels, to be able to make things work as well. So, you talk about shoppers, people that go through and kind of help you do your shopping. So yeah, as far as that process goes, somebody there that's able to help out.
Right. Volunteers go the same way. I mean, because you got some people who prefer to have work help mornings. Others, we get a lot of younger people on Thursday night, kids from school that like to come out and help us. Obviously, they can't do that on a Tuesday morning because they're in class. But so we get a wide range of volunteers. We don't have a minimum age and we don't have a maximum age, and we definitely don't discriminate if you got a pickup truck.
See, that's always a big help as well, as far as moving things and stuff like that. All right, we're gonna take our first break. When we come back, we'll have much more with Pam Moses, talking to her about some of the great things that are going on and all the hard work that they're doing over at the Taylorville Food Pantry. You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on WTIM, your information station, brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better at Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first. Back in just a moment.
Your information station, WTIM.
St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Over the years, it has meant the Gas House Gang, Stan the Man, Lou Brock, Bob Gibson, The Wizard, Big Mac, Yachty, Waino, and Pujols. All those names, and they provided so many memories. St. Louis Cardinals baseball, most importantly, has meant championship baseball. We'll be describing every play right here on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Cardinal baseball, heard on WTIM, your information station. The Big 870 across central Illinois, 96.1 FM in Christian County, 107.5 FM in Shelby County, and 107.9 in the Pena-Nokomis area. It's brought to you by Taylorville Community Eye Care, Sloan Implement, Rural Rentals, Specialized Hearing Solutions, and CNB Bank.
Cardinals baseball on 96.1 in Christian County, WTIM.
Southern Ledge Pools and Patios is saying thank you at our Customer Appreciation Day, Friday, June 6th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy drink and dip samples, exciting raffles, and awesome door prizes all day long. Big Jake's Barbecue is serving it up from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And Kona Ice cools you down from 4 to 6 p.m. Call today to schedule your pool opening. Summer's almost here, and we've got you covered. It's all happening June 6th at Southern Ledge Pools and Patio, 30 East Main Cross in Taylorville. Your outdoor fun creator.
Hi, I'm Peyton Langen, Mental Health Case Manager at Christian County Health Department. When life feels overwhelming, finding the right support shouldn't add to your stress. I'm here to connect you with local resources, from peer counseling appointments, community support groups, housing assistance, or help navigating Social Security benefits. As your dedicated local resource specialist, I'll come alongside you every step of the way. And here's the best part, my services are completely free. Visit the health department at 730 North Pawnee in Taylorville, and let's take the next step forward together.
You've been listening to me go on about the winter canola program from Pioneer and Bunge Chevron Ag Renewables.
Yeah, and you're breaking into the renewable fuels market and the profit potential, blah, blah, blah.
It's not blah, blah. It's a golden opportunity for a new revenue stream for farmers.
It's all blah, blah until I see numbers.
There's an online calculator that'll estimate your profit potential. Check it out at bungeag.com/winter canola.
Now you're making sense. I'll take a look.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Taylorville Estates assisted living residents are treated like family. It's where they encourage independence and enrich lives. Check for vacancies or get on the waiting list by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM. Good morning, WTIM, your information station. We're sitting with Pam Moses from the Taylorville Food Pantry, streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can check out Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first. They're sponsors of our live stream, again, which you can watch on our Facebook page as well. Again, joining us this morning, Pam Moses. And Pam, we were talking a little bit earlier about pickup trucks and just how much of a need that is. But talk a little bit about why pickup trucks are so important.
Well, we have a food rescue program. I believe we've talked about numerous times on before, but that's where we're picking up from the local grocery stores. So, and we do that 6 days a week. So we have to have somebody with a truck 6 days a week. And some of our volunteers get doubled up, and I'm sure they'd like a day off here or there. So we're always trying to find people with a pickup truck. And the process is really simple, Leroy. They go to, let's just say, Walmart on a specific day, or Dollar General, pick up what they have, bring it in, weigh it, get it into the coolers, and then the next group will come through and sort it out. So we pick up from Walmart 2 days a week. We pick up from Aldi and Kroger, 3 days a week. We pick up from the local IGA a day a week. We pick up from Dollar General 2 days. And then we get some assorted people that just call us. some of the convenience stores here in town that say, we've got some donation. We need somebody to come over. When can they be here? Type thing. Ron's Produce gives us some stuff occasionally as well. So yeah, I mean, we're sending people out with trucks almost every day, Monday through Saturday. We don't do it on Wednesday. I think that's the one day we don't do it.
So definitely a need, especially if you have a pickup truck to go help and move stuff. Anything new at the food pantry right now? I think we talked a little bit earlier about maybe some freezers.
Yep, we got those in the last month or so. After some donations this spring, we finally were able to get some stand-up freezers as well as some larger chest freezers. Some of our old chest freezers were just plain wore out. They weren't sealing. The lids were broke. They wouldn't stay up. It was a little bit difficult to work out of. And with the tall freezers, just like the grocery store, you can see in them. They got clear glass on the front, which allows us to be a completely choice pantry, which means, when you come up and you're able to get, 3 or 4 items out of the freezer, you can pick chicken or beef or pork or whatever it is that we have to pick from. You get your choice instead of just getting a bag of meat thrown at you.
Yeah, and again, just so many. I think one of the coolest things about it is, again, you maybe have a general idea of a food bank or a food pantry and getting, rice-a-roni or something of that nature, but there's so many different options that are available, whether it's produce, whether it's frozen, whether it is those boxed goods. But that's really cool that all of those options are available so that somebody can feel comfortable shopping.
Absolutely. I mean, we're set up like a mini grocery store, and we hope that that's the feel that we're giving as well as, because we want you to have a choice. I mean, if I want it on my table and you want it on your table, I mean, everybody should be approximately the same in their demand. So, we like to have, a little bit of everything available, and, depending on the donations and depending on what we can reach out and buy at a reasonable rate, hopefully it's there.
It works out. All right, we've got about a minute and a half left here of our show. Anything else you'd like our listeners to know about the food pantry? Volunteers obviously are needed. Where can people go if they do want to help out?
Show up at the pantry at 1429 East Main Cross, and you can show up during our delivery times. You can show up during our distribution times, and if none of those times work, reach out to us. We'll get you set up with some other volunteer to help plug you into the behind the scenes if you don't want to be out front.
All right, sounds good. All right, anything else you'd like our listeners to know?
We'd just like to thank the community for the support. We'd like to thank the volunteers for the support and let everybody know we're there if you need us.
Yeah, and again, we talked about at the very, very beginning of our show, but obviously with kids not in school, normally they get that luncheon at school. Now they're home. The need is going to be just a little bit higher than what it is during the school year. So if there's any way that you can help out with dropping off some goods, you're strongly encouraged to do so. I know Pam would be Amy would be very, very appreciative of that. Pam Moses, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to us today about some of the great stuff going on over at the food pantry. Phone number, say it again.
I don't know what the phone number
is. All right, no worries. We'll look it up. We'll throw it in the story online when we write the story later today. That way you'll be able to get in contact with them over there. All right, that's going to do it for us from here for our portion of this morning show. Our thanks to Pam Moses from the Taylorville Food Pantry for talking to us a little bit about some of the great stuff going on over at the Taylorville Food Pantry. And again, your help or your pickup truck, greatly appreciated. This portion of the morning show brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville. You always do better at Landmark and People's Bank and Trust, where we put people first. Again, we are wrapping things up here this morning. Got plenty more of the morning show coming up in just a little bit as we finish things up with our special thanks to Pam Moses for taking a couple minutes and talking to us here this morning about the Taylorville Food Pantry. And again, you can head over there and check them out during their hours that they are open, and variable hours. That way they can reach everyone, and you can get over there whenever you need it. So we'll be glad to have that. Currently it's 72 degrees and Rain. You got more great of the morning show coming up here in just a little bit. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. We'll be back in just a little bit, right after this.
WTIM. The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville. 107.5 FM Shelbyville. 107.9 FM Pena Nokomis.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The family of the Egyptian national accused